today's webinar. Respected Sabjar Ahmed sir, Coordinator AMFI, Principal Mankachar College, Dr. Sudipta Datta ma'am, respected our HOD, Muqtajur Rahman Kaji sir, my dear colleagues, and respected all the participants. At the very outset, I, Dr. Jogmaya Paul, Assistant Professor, Department of Economics, Mankachar College, on behalf of all the faculty members of Mankachar College, would like to extend my heartfelt regards to all of you. So at the very beginning, I would like to introduce ourselves, that is our college. So Mankachar College is a NAAC accredited B+ college. The college was established in 1971 since the local people of Mankachar contributed generously for the formation and development of the college. So the college was given the nomenclature as Mankachar College. The college is affiliated to Guwahati University and is registered under the section 2F and 12B of UGC Act 1956. Mankachar College is situated in the southern bank of Maiti Brahmaputra, that is in the district of South Salmara, Mankachar, and it is near the Indo-Bangla border. And it is just 200 meters away from the Indo-Bangla fence line. Mankachar College is the first higher educational institution in this region. And in this context, it is worthwhile to mention that this region is one of the, we can say, most backward region in Assam as well as in India. Yet, Mankachar College is well known for its own identity. The college has already passed its 50 glorious years. And in the last 5 decades, the college has been instrumental for making the youths, we can say youngsters of this region, well educated, productive, employable, as well as cope with the rest of the world. Now, let us move towards the webinar topic. Today's webinar topic, as we all know, is empowerment, we can say financial empowerment through wealth creation. And the objective of today's webinar is to help the audience gain better understanding of the investment opportunities, to create awareness about the need for making systematic savings for better future, and to learn various investment schemes of the government, RBI, as well as we can say post office and schemes PPF, NPS, Shukanya Samriddhi scheme, real estate, gold and securities market, etc. So this was the objective of today's webinar. So now I would like to invite our most respected and beloved principal, Madam Dr. Sudipta Datta ma'am, to deliver her inauguration speech. Now I'm going to hand over the mic to Dr. Sudipta Datta ma'am.
A very good morning to all the members present today. I welcome each member on behalf of the entire Mankachar College family. At the outset of today's webinar, I would like to extend my heartiest gratitude to the Department of Economics, Mankachar College, to have organized such a grand and meaningful webinar on financial empowerment through the wealth creation. The subject matter holds a significant position, especially in today's time, where we can witness an ever-increasing rate of inflation and expense throughout the globe. I hope that the valuable session with our respected speaker, Mr. Srijyakant Sharma, Senior Consultant, AMFI and former DGM SEBI, and Mr. Sabjar Ahmed, Coordinator, AMFI, they provide us all with a solution to all the rising problems concerning our topic today. Having said that, let us begin our session. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your very short but valuable inauguration speech. Now, I would like to invite Head of the Department, Economics, Mankachar College, Mankachar, that is my departmental colleague, Mr. Muqtajir Rahman Kaji sir, to present welcome address as well as profile of our resource person. So, Kaji sir, please on your video and your audio and start.
Okay, thank you. Respected chief guest, Mr. Srijyakant Sharma, and he is the keynote speaker of today's webinar. Respected Mr. Sabjar Ahmed, coordinator of Association of Mutual Funds in India. Respected Principal Incharge Madam of our college, my dear colleagues, and our dear participants. A very good morning to all of you. I am here to welcome you all for this special webinar on behalf of the Department of Economics, Mankachar College. We are ecstatic to have our guest speaker join us today. We believe this is an excellent opportunity to learn from you and be inspired to think beyond. On behalf of everyone, I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. Our college is a premier institute, as already mentioned by the host, my colleague, Dr. Jogomaya Pal, in this backward district of Salmara, Mankachar, Assam. We extend our sincere welcome to all the dignitaries in attendance. Your presence will definitely enhance the webinar's value. At this special moment, we would like to welcome all the dear participants from different corners of Assam as well as the country as a whole. We appreciate your willingness and enthusiasm to participate in this webinar. Thank you all for joining us. And here, I would like to take the opportunity to introduce our chief guest and keynote speaker, Mr. Srijyakant Sharma sir. Mr.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you, Kaji sir, for your wonderful presentation and profile of our
Shirish, hello.
Hello.
Okay, here I would like to take the opportunity to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Srijyakant Sharma. Srijyakant Sharma is a commerce graduate and master's in law with a specialization in corporate laws. He is also chartered associate of Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. Sri Sharma has over 35 years experience in banking and finance and securities market and has served in a leading financial institution. Thereafter, in Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, and finally in SEBI. Sri Sharma sir joined Securities and Exchange Board of India in 2003 and served there for more than 15 years. Has served in different departments of SEBI. Lastly, in addition to other assignments, he was DGM in charge of Office of Investor Awareness and Education in SEBI's Northern Region for more than 5 years. Sri Sharma sir is also a member of working group of NCERT for developing vocational course on mutual funds for students of 11th and 12th classes. Sri Sharma sir also mentor of a few NGOs working for financial literacy and investor awareness in the country. Under his supervision, more than 15,000 financial literacy and investor awareness programs were conducted across North India, and he himself has addressed as guest speaker in more than 600 IAPs. After superannuation from SEBI in 2019, he has joined the Association of Mutual Funds in India, an apex body of mutual fund in India, as senior consultant of North India. So we are very lucky to have you, sir, amidst us. We expect that your valuable speech will enlighten our knowledge in this mutual fund area. We have very little knowledge on this topic. So we hope all the participants, and I especially, since I belong to the Department of Economics, will be benefited from your valuable speech. I welcome you again, sir. Thank you. Now it's over to Jogomaya Pal.
Thank you, sir, for your nice presentation of profile of our keynote speaker. Now, this is the time to invite our resource person. But before inviting him, I would like to request you to listen our speaker attentively so that you could be an effective and successful investor in near future. And don't forget to put your questions in the chat box below at any time, and I'll be always there to note down your questions, and your questions will be answered at the end of the session. At the end of the session, you will get a feedback link. After filling up and submitting the feedback link, that means feedback form only, you will be eligible for the e-certificate. So let us now welcome the man who doesn't need any introduction and is known among all of us for his wisdom and his knowledge, our honorable resource person, Mr. Suryakant Sharma sir. Sir, please start and begin with the most valuable and the most awaiting speech on today's webinar topic.
Thank you, Dr. Paul. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Is my voice clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Paul, for giving me opportunity to be with all of you to discuss about the financial empowerment through wealth creation. And Dr. Paul, the subject you have given me is very loaded, very tough subject. I'm a student and you are a professor, so I may not be able to justify the subject, but still I will try. But still I will try. You and Dr. Kaji and your honorable principal, all are academicians, and I am a layman. But still I will try to justify the topic which you have given.
You are making me just feel ashamed, sir. This is not.
No, you are teacher. You are teacher.
Sir.
You are teacher, and teacher are the rather most beloved and respected humans, because they guide people to take their path in their life. That is why I salute to all. That is why I salute all of you.
You are right, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. No.
But before I start my session, I will request Dr. Paul, kindly keep 3-4 videos on, because if all videos are off, sometimes a feeling creeps into who I am talking to.
Okay, sir. So I request all the participants, if you don't have any network issue, you can put your videos on. And if you feel that there is some network problem, then you can switch off your videos. Otherwise, you can keep your videos on.
No, ma'am. It is not required that all should open the minimum 4 or 5 will do. And particularly your faculty members, faculty members and your staff.
So I request all the faculty members of Mankachar College to put their videos on during the session.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And two, three things I wish to clarify before the start of my session. Dr. Kaji, this program is from Association of Mutual Funds in India, AMFI. But Dr. Paul, this is not a marketing. This is not a marketing event or a promotional event of mutual funds. I want to make it very clear that this is not a marketing event or a promotional event of mutual funds. Of course, I will touch upon mutual fund as well at the end of my session. But this is purely an investor awareness program. And Dr. Paul, I will keep taking your name and Dr. Kaji's name in between all the time. So kindly permit me. And the, the purpose is very simple. Through you, I am connecting with all the participants. That's the only purpose.
Okay, sir. We are always there.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, Dr. Paul. There are two categories of investors, Dr. Paul. You will agree with me. One category belongs to you, those who are already earning. You are professors, some might be businessmen, some might be professionals. So we are all earning. But there is also other categories of investor, Dr. Paul, and that is called potential investors. You are students who have not yet started earning, but they are going to earn very soon. And my session will be focused on both the categories, your and your students as well. And since my program is for the participants, I will request all of you, particularly your students, if you can have one pen and a notebook with you, so that you can note down anything you found useful or a new idea or new information in my session, which you can explore through Google and website. Dr. Paul, you will agree with me. Now everything is available on the websites. We are flooded with the material. But these programs are just to encourage participants to go deeper into the subject. And lastly, as you rightly mentioned, I would be more than happy if more and more questions come from the participants, because that will be a reflection that you have taken interest in the subject. You want to know something more, which you already know. And please keep putting your questions in the chat box, as Dr. Paul has rightly pointed out. After my session is over, we will make the town hall open. Any participant can just raise the hand, can also directly ask the question. Now, I just want to ask a simple question to Dr. Paul. Ma'am, just tell me what money gives us? Why we are so passionate about money? Or is money important in our life? Tell me. Be open. Whatever you come in your mind, please be frank and giving answer. No problem.
Sir, this is related with that means the first problem. That means the problem of economics. That means the problem of scarcity and choice and the resources which can fulfill our want that are very limited. Human wants are unlimited, we all know. So our wants are unlimited, and the resources which can fulfill our want that are limited. And one of that resource is money. Money can fulfill our every want. That's why money is important for us.
You are absolutely right. And you will agree with me. And we also keep saying in our normal discussions, पैसा खुदा नहीं है, लेकिन खुदा से कम भी नहीं है. This is a fact of our life. This is a fact of our life. Money is very, very, very important in our life, because Dr. Kaji, everything we enjoy in life mostly come through money only, except pure love.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Except emotions, except some sort of, you say, love and affection. All we have to pay money for the rest of the things. So money plays a very, very important thing in our life. So Dr. Kaji, money gives us two very important things in our life. Firstly, Dr. Paul, money gives us security. And secondly, money also gives us prosperity. Security in the sense, Dr. Paul, that when I have money, I can feel secure. Okay, Baba, Dr. Paul has got 100 crore in her bank account. Now she will feel secure, no problem at all. I have got 100 crore in my bank account. If anything happens to me, or my family members, that I will take care of those things through money. So money also gives us security, and money also gives us prosperity. And Dr. Paul, there are 3 stages of prosperity in our life. First stage is when I don't have anything. What does prosperity mean to me? I should have roti, kapda, makan, basic needs made by the money. This is the prosperity for those who don't have anything. But Dr. Paul, when I have roti, kapda, makan, basic need met, then I will not stop there. Then we will think of having some comfort in our life. Naturally, very natural. Every human being thinks so. Then we would like to have some good comfort, a reasonable house, a 4-wheeler at home, and at home also every electric and electronic appliances to make my life comfortable. So money also, prosperity to that category of people feel that they should have comfort in their life. But even Dr. Paul, when we develop comfort, we are not satisfied. We will not stop there. Then we will think of having luxury. Then Dr. Paul will think of having a palatial house, a luxury car, everything, a luxury item at home. That is very natural with every human being. This is very natural. So we will go for prosperity for those category of persons have luxurious life. So money gives us security and prosperity. But Dr. Paul, security will come in our life only when we have plenty of money. As I just mentioned, Dr. Paul will feel secure when she will have 100 crore in her bank account. But when I mentioned 100 crore, Dr. Paul was smiling. He said, no, sir, it is not possible. We know it very well. We know it very well. Because we through service can't have that much of money. You will agree with me. At least through service, we will not have that much of money, Dr. Kaji. So naturally, then we will think how we can develop security for myself and for my family. That is very natural, because I personally feel, and Dr. Kaji might also agree with me, we should think first about the security, then prosperity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Security comes first, even before prosperity.
Exactly, sir.
So then how we can have security? A middle class, salary class person can have security in his or her life. Dr. Paul, yes, we all can have security in our life by having 3 things in our life. Please note it down. These 3 things are very, very essential to develop security for yourself and for your family as well. So please note it down. And those who are young, I am not requesting this to Principal Ma'am, because she is already a mature person and she is already close to the age. But those who are young, those who are in 30s and 40s, please do consider developing these 3 things in your life. And Mr. Giridhar, these 3 things will give you security only. Mind it. I am not talking about the prosperity, only security. The first thing, Dr. Paul, every earning person must have is adequate life insurance cover. Adequate life. And can I use Hindi in between, Dr. Paul, if you are comfortable?
Of course, sir, you can use, sir. I think everybody understands.
हिंदी जानता है लोग, आपका इधर हिंदी समझता है?
जानता है, हाँ सर, जानते हैं.
वो तो ठीक है ना, फिर बीच बीच में हिंदी में थोड़ा बात करेगा. तो हर आदमी जो पैसा कमा रहा है उसका जीवन बीमा होना चाहिए. Every earning person, including you, Dr. Paul, must have adequate life insurance cover. And I am using the here word adequate life insurance cover, because normally people do take life insurance cover. You might have taken also some life insurance cover. Mr. Giridhar might have also taken life insurance cover, but that is token only. I might have taken life insurance cover of 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs. Mr. Giridhar, that life insurance cover is not going to serve the purpose for which life insurance is taken. Please mind it. It has to be adequate. So what is the definition of adequacy, Dr. Paul? Your life insurance cover should be minimum 10 times of your annual income. Minimum, I am telling you. Suppose, Dr. Paul, your annual package is 20 lakhs. Then ideally speaking, you should have life insurance cover of not less than 2 crore rupees. And I don't think you have taken that level of cover, life insurance cover. Most of people have not taken. But in earlier times, Dr. Giridhar, there were only two types of life insurance cover available in the market. One is money back and other was endowment. But now a new and true insurance product is available in the market, Dr. Paul, for you, particularly those people, young people like you. And that a life insurance cover is called term insurance, TERM, term insurance. Term insurance is a pure insurance product where a person can have adequate life insurance cover by paying a very small monthly premium. Suppose, Dr. Paul, you are in the you are of around 30 years, then you can have a life insurance cover of 1 crore rupees by paying a monthly premium hardly of 500 or 600 rupees, which anybody can afford. But Giridhar sir, if person goes for the money back and endowment and want to have a life insurance cover of 1 crore rupees, Mr. Kaji, you will have to pay monthly premium of not less than 40,000-50,000 per month, which most of the people will not be able to do it. That is why my personal opinion is this: please do take adequate life insurance cover through term insurance. And here again, the term insurance premium, or for that matter, insurance premium, is directly related to your age, Mr. Giridhar. Early you take, lesser will be the premium. So please don't keep deferring the decision of taking life insurance cover. Please do take at the first opportunity. And even students, I am telling you, when they start earning, in the first year itself, they should take life insurance cover. And what is the purpose of life insurance cover? पता है आपको डॉक्टर पॉल, हम लाइफ इंश्योरेंस कवर क्यों लेते हैं? What is the necessity? हम लाइफ इंश्योरेंस कवर इसलिए लेते हैं because life is pretty uncertain. आज हम जिंदा हैं, everything is going on, life is pretty good, my family is going on, everything is going well. But suppose tomorrow, because of death, I am not available to my family. What will happen to my family? From where they will get monthly ration? More so, Dr. Paul, when I am the single earner in the family, I am the sole earner in the family. From where my family will get food and regular thing, from where my education will get, and kids, my kids will get money for education and all this. That is why we take life insurance cover, that in case I am not available to my family tomorrow, my family should not suffer, at least financially. Of course, emotional problem will be there, social problems will be there, but at least financially they should not suffer, that they don't have any means to pull on their life. So that is why we take life insurance cover. So for the first thing, I again repeat, every earning person must take adequate life insurance cover. Early you take, lesser will be the premium. So please don't keep deferring the decision of taking life insurance cover. Please, Mr. Abdus and Shasdhar Kalita, please put your hands down. I will take your questions when my session is over. So the first thing I have told Dr. Paul is every earning person must have adequate life insurance cover. Second thing I want to tell all of you, Dr. Kaji, every family must have adequate health insurance cover. Dr. Paul, life insurance cover is different and health insurance cover is different. Normally, generally people get confused. I have taken life insurance cover, why I should take health insurance cover? No. The purpose of both life insurance cover and health insurance cover, Dr. Paul, is totally different. Life insurance cover, I take that in case of my death, my family should get a reasonable or good amount to pull on their life. Health insurance cover will take, Dr. Paul, that in case of some medical emergency or some serious disease discovered in my body or unfortunate accident, I am able to go to the best private hospital nearby, get the best treatment, come home recovered without paying anything. That is the purpose of health insurance. That unfortunately, if some medical emergency comes in, or some serious disease discovered in my body, or I met with an accident, unfortunately, then I am able to go to the best hospital, get the best treatment and come home recovered without paying anything. All your medical expenses will be directly paid by the insurance company to the hospital. That is the purpose of health insurance cover. And nowadays, a very good health insurance cover is available in the market, Dr. Kaji. The name of that health insurance cover is Umbrella Health Insurance Cover. Umbrella Health Insurance Cover. It is also called Floater, Floater. Floater Health Insurance Cover. Floater Health Insurance Cover, basically when you take Floater Health Insurance Cover, you have got the leverage, Dr. Kaji, to include not only your name, but also the name of your wife, or in the case of Dr. Paul, your husband, your kids, and even your parents and in-laws. So in the one health insurance cover policy, you can include name of the all family members. So all family members are covered, or all new family members are covered by one single health insurance policy, that is called Floater Health Insurance Cover, and it is called Umbrella Health Insurance Cover as well. And here again, Dr. Paul, early you take, lesser will be the premium. So don't keep deferring the decision of taking adequate health insurance cover. And what is the definition of adequacy? Normally speaking, if you are in a metro city, you should have health insurance cover of your family not less than 25 lakhs. But if you are in 2 tier 3 tier cities, then you can take health insurance cover of around 10-12 lakhs for your whole family. So the second thing I want to request you, please do take adequate health insurance cover for your family through Floater Health Insurance or Umbrella Health Insurance. It is one and same thing. And for both the life insurance cover premium, Dr. Paul, your life insurance and your health insurance premium, you get income tax deduction under section 80C and 80D. That is also available. So, but you should not take life insurance cover, or for that matter, health insurance cover, only for the sake of getting benefit of income tax exemption, Dr. Kaji. That is an incidental benefit which we must avail. But the purpose of taking life insurance cover and health insurance cover is much, much bigger than anything else. So the second thing I have requested all of you, please, and even students should understand when they start earning, please do take adequate health insurance cover for your family. And third thing, Dr. Paul, अब ये बताइए, कोरोना में हमारी जिंदगी बदली है ना? Corona has changed our life. I think Dr. Paul will agree with me. Everything has changed.
Yes, sir.
कोरोना ने हमारा जिंदगी बदल दिया, हर चीज बदल दी है. और कोरोना has taught of hundreds of lessons. But the most important lesson, Dr. Paul and Dr. Kaji, which we have learned from Corona is, every family must have an emergency fund of around 5 lakhs all the time. हर परिवार के पास एक 5 लाख रुपए का emergency fund हमेशा होना चाहिए. अब ये क्यों होना चाहिए, Dr. Kaji? You might ask me what is the need of having this fund. Haq sir, Ajmal Haq sir. During Corona, you might be very lucky, got your regular salary from the college. I don't know whether you were getting regular salary from your college during Corona. But sir, there were lakhs of people who lost their job during Corona. There were lakhs of people who got substantial reduction in their salaries. 30% salary only, 20% salary only. And there were lakhs of people, businesses were closed, professions were closed, and not for 1 month, Dr. Kaji, for months together, 5 months, 6 months, 8 months, everything was closed. So lakhs of people have passed through a very, very tough time. I think Kaji साहब मुझसे agree करेंगे कि वो time बड़ा tough time था लोगों के लिए.
Yes, sir.
और ये कोरोना अभी गया नहीं है, सर. कोरोना is still there. Corona is still there. And so Corona has taught us a lesson कि ऐसा टाइम दोबारा भी आ सकता है. ऐसा टाइम दोबारा आ सकता है. चाइना में भी आपको पता है, things are very serious there, very dangerous level. Some cities are closed even today in China. तो इसलिए कोरोना एक बात समझा के जा रहा है, हर परिवार के पास 5 लाख रुपए का एक इमरजेंसी फंड हमेशा होना चाहिए. अब वो किस लिए होना चाहिए डॉक्टर पॉल? वो इसलिए होना चाहिए कि अगर फ्यूचर में कोरोना जैसी कोई परेशानी फिर आ जाती है तो एटलीस्ट आई एम एबल टू मैनेज माई फैमिली एक्सपेंसेस फॉर नेक्स्ट 5 to 6 months। कम से कम 8-10 महीना मेरे घर का खर्चा आराम से चला सकूं उस इमरजेंसी फंड से। दैट इज द पर्पज ऑफ हैविंग इमरजेंसी फंड। एंड प्लीज डू think of developing an emergency fund of around 5 lakhs. And Dr. Kaji, 5 lakh is not a small amount for all of us. It is a big amount, Dr. Paul, but we can develop it over a period of time. This corpus can be developed over a period of time, maybe 3 years, maybe 4 years, maybe 5 years. But once it is developed, you have to ensure that this emergency fund is not used for any other purpose except for corona, except for emergencies. This is the commitment you have to make with yourself, Dr. Giridhar, कि अगर कोरोना, अगर कोई परेशानी बाद में कभी आती है तो ये 5 लाख रुपए का जो मैंने इमरजेंसी फंड बनाया है ये केवल इमरजेंसी में ही काम आएगा और कहीं काम नहीं आएगा। This discipline and this commitment you have to make with yourself or taking your family into confidence. और मैं कभी नहीं कहता 5 लाख रुपए आप घर में रखिए, कैश में रखिए डॉक्टर गिरिधर। You can make a FD of this 5 lakh rupees in a good bank so that you will earning reasonable return as well. So the third thing is that every family must have an emergency fund of around 5 lakhs. मैंने 3 बातें बोली है हक साहब, दोबारा रिपीट कर रहा हूं मैं सभी को। पहला, हर अर्नर का, जो भी आदमी पैसा कमा रहा है, एडिक्वेट लाइफ इंश्योरेंस कवर होना चाहिए। हर परिवार का एडिक्वेट हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस कवर होना चाहिए। और तीसरा, हर परिवार के पास 5 लाख रुपए का इमरजेंसी फंड हमेशा रहना चाहिए, ओनली फॉर इमरजेंसी। और ये तीनों बातें डॉक्टर काजी एंड डॉक्टर पॉल, ये तीनों बातें केवल आपको सिक्योरिटी देगी, सुरक्षा देगी। These are not related to your prosperity. I am not still talking about the prosperity. I am still on security aspect of your life only. So please do think of developing these 3 things who have not yet done it, those who are still young, and even students should understand when they start earning, please do complete these 3 things in the first or second year of their career when they start earning. अब आगे हम बात करेंगे डॉक्टर काजी, and tell me Dr. Paul, what is the main source of money for all of us? हमारे पास पैसा कहाँ से आता है? Can you tell me? From where we get money? Yes, Dr. Paul, from where we get money?
Sir, we have to, that means either we have to do some job or we have to invest.
No, don't talk about from where we get primary money. Salary, na? Salary. Actually, we work and get salary. So the main source of money for all of us, Dr. Paul, is salary, which we get from our employer. In your case, from your college, and in some other college, in some other businesses, people are getting business or some profession from profession. So the main source of money for the middle class, salary class person is the salary which we get from the employers. और जो पैसा मिलता है उसका हम क्या करते हैं डॉक्टर पॉल? What we do with the money? What we do with the salary which we get? सारा खर्चा करता है, खर्चा करता है, घर का राशन है, बच्चों की पढ़ाई है, lot of other things. So majority for salary, Mr. Giridhar, goes into taking care of for monthly expenses, regular expenses. But still, Indians have a unique habit. I don't know whether Kaji will agree with me or not, or whether Mr. Haq or Sri Giridhar sir will agree with me or not. Sir, we all Indians have a unique habit. And what is that, Dr. Paul? We try not to spend all the money which we earn. हम कोशिश करता है कि जितना पैसा कमाया सारा खर्च ना करें। करते हैं ना, हम सब कोशिश करते हैं ना. Everybody tries. Even a person who is earning 10,000 rupees will sincerely try to take away 500 rupees or 700 rupees. Of course, difficult nowadays, but still they will try to take away some money out of their salary, and the money which we don't spend out of our salary, what we call it, Dr. Paul? Savings, bachat. It is called savings. It is called savings. And we are all savers. Every family tries to save some money. Every family. And that is in our blood. It is nothing new, Mr. Greaser. It is in our blood. Every family tries to save some one or other money as per their need they spend, but at the same time they want to save some money and they do it. And you might be, because you are economics professor, Dr. Paul, you must be knowing that Indians are still one of the best savers in the world. We are still one of the best savers in the world. We are recognized for saving. So saving is not a problem. But problem lies somewhere else with regard to saving. And two very small things I want to tell all of you, Dr. Paul. Firstly, I do save, but I'm casual about saving. डॉक्टर पॉल क्या करती हैं, इस महीने कभी 10,000 बचा लिया, कभी 8,000 बचा लिया, कभी 15,000 बचा लिया, कभी 4,000 बचा लिया, कभी कुछ नहीं बचाया. Of course, reason might be there. I'm not talking about the reasons, but we are not casual. We are not regular in saving. We are casual about saving. But I want to tell one thing to all of you, particularly those young participants and your students. Please identify an amount of saving which you can comfortably save out of your income. And Dr. Paul, I am not prescribing anything. Normally people do prescribe 20% बचाइए, 30% बचाइए, 40% बचाइए. I am not saying anything. What I am saying is, please you identify what you can save. Please identify. Suppose Dr. Paul, you say that your monthly salary is 50,000, and suppose you say that your monthly salary is 50,000 and your monthly expenses are 40,000. So what you are indirectly saying is that you can save 10,000 a month. Then my request is very simple, Mr. Greaser. You must save this 10,000 without fail every month. This promise and commitment and discipline has to be developed. There is no other shortcut. There is no other option. You have to develop. You have to develop a habit of saving this amount, whatever it may be. Maybe 10,000, maybe that you have decided. But whatever you have decided, you must religiously every month save that amount, come what may. I am using the word, Mr. Greaser, come what may. You have to save that amount. This commitment is required. This discipline and Dr. Paul, it is not easy, but it is not impossible. It is not impossible either. It can be done, provided we make our commitment with ourselves. Come what may, I will save this amount. The first thing is, please identify an amount of saving and then religiously save that amount every month. And second thing I want to request all of you, Dr. Paul, please keep increasing your saving minimum by 10% every year. Please keep increasing your saving minimum by 10% every year. Suppose, Dr. Paul, you are saving 10,000 a month this year. Next year, ideally, it should be 11,000 a month. How it can be? Definitely, you will ask me, but you have answer. Dr. Paul, you get increment. You get some DNS allowance. You get some new allowances. Your salary keep increasing every year. So with the increase in income, you must increase your saving. So these two things looks very simple, Mr. Hug. Looks very simple, but if you commit yourself with these two simple things in your life, identify an amount of saving and then keep increasing your saving every year, Dr. Paul, I can give you a confidence that down the line after 15-20 years, you will have least financial problem in your life. Least problem might still be there, but you will have least financial problem in your life, provided you start working right from the day you start earning on your savings and increasing your saving every year. So saving is the first step towards your prosperity. सर, पैसा बचाना सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है, सबसे पहले बचाना जरूरी है. इसका और कोई शॉर्टकट नहीं है, because saving is the prime source for our prosperity. Mind it. But it is not the only source. It is only the first step. It is only the first step. Next step is, and Dr. Haq must be knowing it very well, next step is putting your savings into some mode or into some assets or some financial instruments which will give you return in future, regularly or periodically. So Dr. Paul, putting your saving through a process into some assets or in some financial instrument, it is called investment. It is called investment. So saving is the first step and investment is the second step. And Giridhar sir, if you save and don't invest, then better not to save, enjoy with your money. Because saving is not give you any prosperity. Only investment will give. But what you will invest unless and until you save. So saving is a must, Dr. Kaji. But you should not stop at the saving. You must invest your saving into some assets or in financial instrument. Why? Because my money should also earn money for me. Dr. Paul, you are economics professor. You must be knowing the purpose and intent of investment is very clear all the time. My money should earn money for me. That is intention is very clear. That whatever saving I have done, I am putting this saving into investment with the sole purpose of that my investment must earn money for me. So we are all investors also. Wherever Dr. Paul and Mr. Giridhar, whatever you are doing, whatever saving you are doing, whatever investment you are doing, we are all savers and investors. But one thing, most of the middle class, salary class person, I don't know whether Dr. Paul and Dr. Kaji will agree with me or not. One thing is very peculiar to Indian middle class persons. And that is, we save, we invest. But even after that, Dr. Paul, we just remain money accumulators in our life. We don't become wealth creators. And my dear participant, please do understand, money accumulation is not going to have prosperity in your life. Mr. Giridhar, only wealth creation will give you a way for your prosperity. But unfortunately, most of the middle class, salary class person are money accumulators only. They are not wealth creation. And top of it, Mr. Kaji, top of it, most of us don't accept it. Mr. Kaji will say, I am not money accumulator, I am wealth creator. Mr. Giridhar might be. Mr. Giridhar will say, I am not, my colleague, Dr. Paul might be. That is our thinking. But most of us are sheer money accumulators. So now we should now understand the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. And for that, Dr. Paul, kindly give me permission to take your name again in the example which I am sharing with all of you.
Okay, sir. Of course, you can take. No problem, sir.
Thank you. Suppose Dr. Mamta or Dr. Paul has got 1 lakh rupees. Suppose, I know Dr. Paul has got much more money than 1 lakh rupees, but just for example's sake, I am saying that Dr. Paul has got 1 lakh rupees and she goes for a 1-year bank FD with a good bank. Dr. Paul, you go with a 1-year bank FD with a good bank. And the present rate of interest, Dr. Paul, you must be aware of the 1-year FD is around 5.50, 5.75, or take it 6%, maximum 6%. So you go for a 1-year FD at the rate of 6% interest. After 1 year, when I meet you and just ask you what happened to your FD, Dr. Paul, what will be your answer? Your answer will be very simple. You have earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest income. Am I right? You have earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest income and bank has given back your money. That will be your answer and you are right. You are right, but you are not right. You are right because you earned 6,000 rupees. But Mr. Giridhar, she is not right. because she ignored two very important factors while analyzing return on their investment. And Dr. Paul, FD is also an investment. So the two important factors normally we ignore, but we must not ignore those factors. The first factor is inflation. Dr. Paul, आप तो इकोनॉमिस्ट की प्रोफेसर है, इन्फ्लेशन आप पढ़ाती होंगे सुबह शाम.
Right, sir.
What is inflation? Simply speaking, inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. Am I right?
Exactly, sir.
Inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. So last year when you were going for bank FD, had you not gone for bank FD and could have purchased some items or availed some services from 1 lakh rupees last year, tell me, Dr. Paul, would you be able to get same item, same services after 1 year at 1 lakh rupees? Would
No,
it be
sir.
possible? It will
Not
not be
possible.
possible. Because of inflation, prices of those items have increased. And suppose the inflation rate has been 5% during this 1 year. What does it mean? That last year, whatever you could have purchased from 1 lakh rupee, Dr. Paul, after 1 year, for the same item, same goods and same services, you will need to pay not 1 lakh rupees, but 1,05,000 rupees. Am I right? You will need to pay 1,05,000 rupees. So now you see the proposition, Mr. Gridhar. She was very happy when she got 6,000 rupees as bank interest. But in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. Am I right, Mr. Gridhar? Just give me thumbs up. Am I right? So out of 6,000 she earned, 5,000 has gone to, has been eaten by the inflation. But Mr. Huck, she's still happy. She says, no problem, I have still got 1,000 rupees out of 6,000. No, sir. There is another factor which she normally ignores. Mr. Gridhar, sir, most of the income and return, Government of India takes income tax or capital gain. Most of them. Hardly there are tax-free. There are some instruments which are tax-free, but most of the income Government of India takes income tax or gain. And in the case of FD, economic professor Dr. Paul, you might not be aware. In the case of FD, whatever you earn as interest has to be included in your income as a whole. There is no concession for you. So 6,000 you earn, you will have to pay income tax as per your slab. The 10,000 exemption, Mr. Gridhar, we get is not on a FD interest. It is on a savings bank account only. On FD interest, whatever you earn, Mr. Huck, has to be included in your income tax return as income, and you have to pay income tax as your slab. So suppose Dr. Paul is 20% bracket even, then she will have to pay 20% income tax on 6,000 also. Now you see the proposition, sir. She was very happy when she earned 6,000. But in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation, and 1,200 she has to pay for income tax. Did she get anything in reality, sir? No. Rather, 200 rupees has gone out of her pocket. It is a fact of our life. Most of our investment like this only. We don't get any real return. 6,000 was your notional return, Mr. Gridhar. And there was no real return. Please do understand this very carefully. And suppose, Dr. Paul, suppose the rate of interest is 8%. Suppose 8%. In that scenario, Dr. Paul, you will definitely get 8,000 as bank interest in income on 1 lakh FD. Again, keeping inflation at 5%, out of 8,000, 5,000 would be eaten by the inflation. Again, 20% income tax for 8,000, Dr. Paul, that is 1,600 you have to pay as income tax. But even after that, there remains 1,400. And Dr. Paul, that 1,400 is your real return. And my dear participant, you must understand we have to have earned some real return on all our investment. You should try very hard that you must earn some real return. And I'm giving you the formula, Dr. Giridhar, of the real return. Real return equal to notional return minus inflation minus tax liability, if any. Real return equal to notional return, that is 6,000, minus inflation 5,000, minus tax liability 1,200, no real return. In the second scenario, 8,000 minus 5,000 minus 1,600 is still 1,400 remain, and that is your real return. So my dear participant, you must understand that on all our investments, we have to earn some real return, because Dr. Giridhar, only real return will give you prosperity, not notional return. Notional return will be a figure only, and you might be happy on that, but that serves no purpose at all. So be prudent, be alert that all our investment, Mr. Huck, get some real return. Now, what is the reason, Mr. Giridhar, then most of us are sheer money accumulators, we are not wealth creators, because most of us are not getting any real return on our investment. What is the reason? Yes, sir, reason is there. And Mr. Giridhar, reason is not outside somewhere else. The reason line is in your mind. The reason lies in the mind of Dr. Paul, Dr. Giridhar, and Dr. Huck, and for all of us. And what is that, Mr. Huck? Most of the middle class, salary class person don't want to take risk in their life. Arey Baba, no. In investment, we don't want to take any risk. This is normal. Normally, we think on these lines only. Arey sir, no, we don't want to take any risk. And when I come at this stage, Mr. Huck, there might be a message in the chat box. Sir, ये risk के बारे में बात मत कीजिए. Tell us something about safe investment. Normally, people do like this only. अरे सर, कोई safe investment के बारे में बताइए. Dr. Huck, you may or may not agree with me, but the fact of the life is most of the investments have got risk. Most of the investments have got risk, whether Dr. Paul accept it or not. So please do accept that most of the investment have got risk, except some governmental small saving scheme, which we will discuss afterwards. But be clear, most of the investment have got risk. But again, Mr. Huck, in some product risk may be high, in some product risk may be moderate, in some product risk may be lower, but some element of risk is always there. So please do accept that in the investment risk is there. And once we accept Dr. Paul, the next question which come in our mind naturally is, everybody think like this, then Mr. Sridhar, how I can manage my risk, how I can minimize my, that is everybody will think that if risk is there, then how I can minimize my risk, how I can manage my risk. Yes, my dear participants, we can manage your risk, we can minimize your risk, but Dr. Huck, our risk cannot be zero all the time. Some degree of risk will always be there, but still we can manage it, still we can minimize it. How we can do it? By adopting a very simple two-word formula in your life. Very simple formula, Dr. Paul. If you wish to note it down, very simple. You might laugh at me, sir. आप तो बड़ा simple बातें कर रहे हैं. I'm economics professor. आप ये क्या सीधी बातें कर रहे हैं? The formula, two-word formula I am sharing with all of you. Only two-word formula. And the formula is very simple. Pehle I will speak in English, then I will speak in Hindi. Only two words, Mr. Giridhar. Think, understand and invest. सोच कर, समझ कर, निवेश कर. Think, understand and invest. I have used only two words, Mr. Giridhar. First one is think. What I have to think? I have to think two things about myself. Two things I have to think, Dr. Paul, about myself. First is, what is my risk appetite? What is my risk-taking capacity? And Dr. Huck, every individual has got different risk appetite. Every individual, because our income is different, our family obligations are different, our social bond and brought up, everything is different. So every individual, Mr. Giridhar, has got different risk appetite. And we must take our investment decision strictly as per our risk appetite. But normally we do a blunder. पता नहीं मुझे श्रीधर साहब इस बात को मानेंगे नहीं मानेंगे. We all have done that blunder. And that is, what is that, Mr. Sridhar? हमारे लोगों के, मध्यम वर्गीय लोगों के ज्यादातर इन्वेस्टमेंट भेड़ चाल में होते हैं. If somebody is doing, we will also do it. Blindly, rather blindly. And that is a blunder we all do. And I just give you one example. Suppose Mr. Sridhar is investing somewhere and filling some application for the investment. And Mr. Sheikh and Dr. Paul goes to his room and asks, sir, what you are doing? Mr. Giridhar will say, there is a very good investment product coming in. I am investing some money in that. Dr. Paul and Mr. Sheikh knows it very well that Mr. Giridhar is a very smart investor. Wherever he is investing must be a good product. So what they will think in their mind? थोड़ा पैसा हमारे पास भी बढ़ा हुआ है, हम भी लगा देते हैं. We should also invest in the product which Mr. Giridhar is investing. But Mr. Giridhar, it is a blunder for them. Because you are investing as per your risk appetite. And the risk appetite of Dr. Paul and Mr. Sheikh is different. So we should never follow others in taking our investment decisions. May it be your brother, may it be your sister, may it be your colleague, may it be your friend even. No, you should strictly take your investment decision as per your risk appetite. How much risk I can take, that is my risk appetite. And one more thing here, that Mr. Sridhar, our risk appetite keeps changing with the age. It is not a constant factor. When we are young, like Mr. Sheikh, we can take high risk. Why? Because I have got 30-40 years to go in my life. If something goes wrong with me, no problem, I will rectify my mistake and go on. But Dr. Paul, I don't have that luxury. Because of age, I don't have that luxury. So young people should take risk. I encourage them to take risk, but it has to be calculated risk. It should not be a blind risk. So you should think of taking calculated, or rather I encourage them to take risk, because your sole purpose before 40 years in your age, Mr. Sridhar, should be to get maximum real return on your investment, even by taking some calculated risk. I encourage them, Mr. Haq. I may or may not be right, but I encourage young people to take risk, but it has to be calculated and it has to be strictly as per your risk appetite. Second thing we have to think, Mr. Giridhar, is time horizon of investment. That is equally important. Time horizon of investment. We have to think about our time horizon. And to understand you about the time horizon investment, Dr. Paul, again, kindly permit me to take your name.
Of course, sir.
And I want 1 hour from yours next Sunday. Will you give me? Next
Okay,
Sunday,
sir.
1 hour. One
Okay,
hour.
sir. Okay.
Don't worry, I'm not coming to your home. But still, I want 1 hour from you.
You are always welcome, sir. Why not in my home? You can come
No.
at any time.
But still, I want 1 hour from you. Next Sunday, I will request young people like you. Next Sunday, sit with your family members. Request them to be with you. Take one paper and one pencil or pen. On the paper, make 3 columns. First column, second column, and third column. Make 3 columns on the paper. First column, second column, and third column. And first column, second column, and third column. In the first column, Dr. Paul, after discussing with your family members, note down what are the major things you will be doing in your life. which are technically called milestones. Discuss with them. And what are the normal milestones, Mr. Haq, in our middle class, salary class life? The first major milestone is marriage. Marriage is the first milestone. After that, birth of the children, celebration naturally. That is the second milestone. And third milestone might be purchase or construction of the house for the family. Every family will like to have their own house. Even when you have parental house, family will like you to have their own house or flat, whatever it may be. Then every family will definitely like to have four-wheeler, maybe a moderate one, but every family will like to have a four-wheeler. And one more milestone is now added, Mr. Giridhar, in our life, which was not in my life, but it is in the life of Mr. Paul, Dr. Paul and young people like her. That is going on vacation. Every family now wish of going on vacation. And Dr. Paul family will keep on pressurizing her. Arey Baba, go out of Assam, go to Maharashtra, go to Tamil Nadu, go to Rajasthan. Naturally, very naturally. Go to Rajasthan, go to other state. And why to India only? Your family will definitely say, go to Switzerland, go to USA. That is very natural. So vacation, Mr. Haq, has now become a normal, important milestone in middle class, salary class life, which was not in my life, in my time at least. After some time, when your children are grown up, Dr. Haq, what is the next most important life milestone in your life? Dr. Paul, higher education and professional education of children. One of the most important milestone in every parent's life. Every parent will like to have best education to their children. So higher education and professional education of children is one of the most important milestone in our life. Then after that, once their education is over, Dr. Paul, what you will think of? Naturally, marriage. Marriage of the children is the next priority after that. And last one is living retirement life. Dr. Haq, that is one of the most important thing. And unfortunately, I don't think you have pension in your institution. Dr. Paul, have you pension in your institution? I don't think you have pension.
No, that means we are under NPS, sir.
No, NPS is a different thing. NPS, but government pension is not there, na?
No, sir.
So for retirement life, we have to have huge amount. We have to have huge amount to live our life. Because in retirement, the most negative point with Dr. Haq is not getting salary. Because the moment I am retired, my employer will not give me salary. Okay, Baba, go to buy. Next month, no salary at all. So how I will live my life after retirement by I don't have salary? Normally, what we do, Dr. Haq, we start developing a corpus for retirement, collecting money. And we include with that some superannuation benefit which we will be getting when we retire. Leave encashment, gratuity, PF, all these things we include it. And the whole amount will be invested somewhere. And with the sole purpose of getting some monthly return, regular return from that corpus so that we can survive. So retirement life corpus is very, very important for every individual. So Dr. Paul, in the first column, please note down all the milestones in your life. And if you find that I have missed out something, you add on. That liberty I am giving you. Now in the second column, Dr. Paul, against each milestone, start putting the period when it is likely to happen. Again, idea only. Precisely nothing can be done, but just an idea. Suppose somebody says that I am not still married. I am likely to be married after 2 years. Put it 2 years against marriage. Likewise, after 2 years, birth of children, 3.5 years. Likewise, start putting the 2 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year, 15 year, 20 year, 25 year, 30 years. Start putting the period against all milestones. Now, third and very important thing, Dr. Paul, and I will request all of participants be attentive for next 2 minutes. Against each milestone, Mr. Sheikh, start putting the money which you will need for each milestone. Again, idea only. Precisely, it can't be done. Suppose somebody says that for marriage, I will need minimum 5 lakhs because all other expenses will be taken care of by my parents, but honeymoon package I will have to purchase. That's the minimum thing I have to do. So put it 5 lakh as marriage. So likewise, you start putting the money which you will need, construction of house, purchase of house, vacation, all these things. Two very important milestone I want to discuss, Dr. Paul, with you and all young participants. Dr. Paul, suppose, of course, I should not mention your age, but just for example, suppose you are 30, around 30, and you say that my monthly expenses at the family is around 30,000. You are managing your affairs with 30,000 today. But Dr. Paul, after 30 years, when you become 60 and get retired, have you ever imagined what will be your monthly expenses for same standard of living, Mr. Haq? No extra venja. For the same standard of living after 30 years, because of inflation, Dr. Sheikh, she will need not less than 2 lakh rupees per month. Today, monthly expenses are 30,000 only, but after 30 years, same expenses will go up to 2 lakh rupees per month at the first month of her retirement. So for annual expenses of the first year of retirement, 2 lakhs multiplied by 12, what it becomes, Dr. Paul? 24 lakhs. So you will need 24 lakhs in the first year of your retirement for living your life. So how much your corpus you should develop for your retirement life? A thumb rule is there, Dr. Paul. Note it down. Your retirement corpus should be minimum 20 times of your annual expenses. Your retirement corpus should be minimum 20 times of your annual expenses. Suppose your annual expenses are 25 lakh, 24, 25 lakh, Dr. Haq. She will need to develop a retirement corpus of not less than 5 crore rupees. It is a fact of life, whether you accept it or not. So put it 5 crore against the retirement. Now I want to make you scary, Dr. Paul, where you have gone, I don't know. I want you to be scary. Make the total of the last column. And you will be surprised, Dr. Haq. She will need not less than 10 to 12 crore rupees for her milestones only. 10 normal middle class, salary class person who is around 30 today, Mr. Gridhar, will need not less than 10 to 12 crore rupees for their milestone. And Dr. Haq, I have excluded her monthly expenses from 30 year to 60 year. That I have excluded. I have taken only milestones, 10 to 12 crore rupees. From where that money will come? I know Dr. Paul is very lucky. She is going to a Amitabh Bachchan show KBC, which is started just recently, and she will win 7.5 crores. But what about others? She might win. But what about lakhs of others, sir? Yes, now I give confidence to all of you, those who are young around 30, Mr. Gridhar. You all can have 10 to 12 crore rupees in your life, provided, I'm underlining, sir, provided you start working right from today for your maximum saving and putting your saving into the best investment product, earning maximum real return on your investment. If you do this, rest assured you will have 10 to 12 crore in your life if you are around 30 today. So the chart which we have just prepared, Dr. Paul, first column, second column, and third column, Mr. Gridhar, this chart is technically called a financial plan. This is called a financial plan. And Mr. Haq, I am of the firm opinion, every family must have their financial plan. And it is not a rocket science. It is not a rocket science. Damn easy thing, very simple thing. Every family can develop their financial plan. Because once financial plan in place, Mr. Gridhar, now the targets are very clear. What money we will need at what time? What money we will, so we will start working more harder to achieve those targets, to have money when we need it. That is why the importance, Dr. Paul, of financial plan. So please do develop a financial plan for your family, for yourself. One more thing I want to tell about the investment is, And that is, Mr. Haq, eighth wonder of the world. Dr. Paul, you are economics professor, you must be knowing the importance of that. That is eighth wonder of the world, and that is rule of compounding. Rule of compounding is eighth wonder of the world. And what is rule of compounding in investment, Dr. Paul? Very simply speaking, you have to make a promise with yourself. You have to make a commitment with yourself that whenever I will get any return or income on my investment, I will never use that return or income for my personal consumption, or for that matter for my celebration. What I will simply do, I will simply club that return or income with my regular investment which I am making, reinvest it and continue reinvesting it for months, for years together. That commitment is not easy, Dr. Paul. When you will get 5 lakhs rupees a return or income on your investment, whole family will be behind you. Arey Baba, you have got 5 lakhs rupees, go on vacation, enjoy this money, have some renovation at what? That is very natural. But no, you have to make a commitment. I will never use any return on my investment for my consumption. That I will manage from other sources. But whenever I get any return or income on my investment, I will simply club that return or income with my regular investment and reinvest it. And Mr. Haq, if he does it for 15-20 years continuously, I can promise her, Dr. Paul, you will be happily surprised. After 15-20 years, your return portion has become much bigger than your original investment. But it will not be happening today. It will not be happening tomorrow. It will take time. That is why investment success, Dr. Haq, depends on you having patience. Have patience. Always see that your returns are on right track, but have patience. Give time to your investment to grow, to multiply it. Multiplication can be done, Mr. Giridhar, not in a single day, not in a year. It will take year together. So we have to religiously follow, Dr. Paul, rule of compounding in our investments. This is very important. So far what we have discussed, regular savings, then conversion of savings, Dr. Paul, into investment, then getting real return on our investments, then risk management, soch kar, samajh kar, nivesh kar, then financial plan, and then rule of compounding. I don't know whether Dr. Paul will agree with me or not, whether I have wasted your time of around 1 hour, or your participant have got something out of it. But I personally feel that these are the basic things we must understand before start embarking upon the journey of investment. Now, next 15 minutes, Dr. Paul, we will discuss what are the investment products available for us. That is equally important, Dr. Haq. We must know what are the products available for the middle class, salary class person to invest in. And the first category of investment is, Dr. Paul, governmental small saving scheme. Governmental small saving scheme. The government of India has developed some small saving scheme for the middle class, salary class person, Mr. Giridhar. And the number one and the best scheme I personally feel, Dr. Haq, is Public Provident Fund Account, PPF. PPF is a very good account, Government of India scheme, Dr. Paul. PPF account can be opened with any bank or post offices. And you should preferably open the account with your bank where you are SB account, because you can link that account and you can online transfer the amount. PPF account is for 15 years, Dr. Haq. But it can be extended beyond 50 years for every 5 years. And you must not stop PPF account after 15 years. You should continue it with extending it 5 year, 5 year and 5 year. And you should stop it only when you need money. Ideally, if you continue it for 10, 15, 20 years, 25 years, it will give you very good return. And minimum amount you can invest in PPF, Dr. Paul, is 500 rupees. And maximum amount you can invest is 1.50 lakhs every year, not more than that. Even today, Government of India is giving 7.10% interest on PPF accounts, sir, which is compounding every year. And Dr. Paul, you can open a PPF account in your husband's name, even when he's not working. Legally, you can do it because PPF account is a tax exempt scheme, no tax at all. Even when you earn interest, when you close the account, no tax liability is there. It is a triple E scheme, exempt, exempt, exempt. That is why this is a unique scheme. And you also get income tax exemption up to 1.50 lakhs for investing in this amount. And two things you should know, very small things you should know about the PPF is, Dr. Paul, if possible, please deposit 1.50 lakhs, which is the maximum limit, in your PPF account at the beginning of the financial year. That is before 5th of April every financial year. Before 5th of April. Why I am telling you? Because if you deposit 1.50 lakhs, Mr. Giridhar, you will get interest for the whole year. But suppose per chance you don't have 1.50 lakhs to invest, deposit in one way, then whenever you deposit, because you can deposit it many times in PPF account, whenever you deposit, please do deposit this amount before 5th of the every month. 5 तारीख से पहले पैसा जमा कराना है पीपीएफ अकाउंट में. तो अगर आपने 5 के बाद पैसा जमा कराया डॉक्टर पॉल, you will not get interest for that month. अगर 6 तारीख को भी आपने पैसा जमा कराया तो उस महीने का ब्याज आपको नहीं मिलेगा. और ये डिफरेंस बहुत बड़ा हो जाता है डॉक्टर हक when you invest for 15, 20, 25 years. So I am of the firm opinion, Mr. Kaji, middle class, salary class person must have a PPF account, even their spouse name as well. Second thing is National Savings Certificate, NSC. I don't have time, so I will just mention the name. You can get the details on Google and websites. National Savings Certificate. Third one is Kisan Vikas Patra. Kisan Vikas Patra. Fourth one is RBI tax-free and taxable bonds. RBI also keep issuing bonds to the public, tax-free and taxable bonds. Fifth one is governmental securities. You can invest in government securities as well, Mr. Kaji. And for governmental security, government had now made the system very, very simple for all of us. Recently, Mr. Giridhar, RBI has started a portal. The name of the portal is, name of the website is RBI Retail Central. RBI Retail Central. It is a, you can go visit the website, register yourself, and then start investing a small amount in that through RBI Retail Central. Then a very unique scheme is there, Mr. Kaji, and that is only for the girl child, which Dr. Paul had mentioned at the beginning. Very unique scheme of the, and that is limited only for girl child. And the name of the scheme is Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. And Mr. Giridhar, you can, if you have a girl child at home whose age is below 10, that is a precondition. Beyond 10, you can't open her account. But if she is below 10, then you can open her account in any bank or post office, and you can deposit minimum 250 rupees in a year, and maximum limit is 1.50 lakhs in Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. And tax exemption is also allowed under Section 80C for both the premium, for both the deposits. Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana में भी और उधर PPF में भी. And one uniqueness is, Mr. Sheikh and Mr. Haq, government has promised that they will give highest return in Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. Highest return among all governmental schemes. Even today, government is giving 7.60% interest in Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. 7.60%, which is the highest among all government schemes. And basically this is meant for the higher education and marriage of the children, a girl child. Dr. Paul, you can withdraw 50% of the amount when the girl child become 18 years old, 50%. And after 21 years, you can withdraw the whole money for her marriage, or otherwise, or you can continue till she marries. So Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana is a very good scheme of the government of India. And last one is, government of India had developed a channel which is called Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2. Basically, earlier government of India undertaking used to issue bonds and debenture to the public, but now government has channelized it through Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2. You can invest in that as well. And big government institutions, Mr. Haq, National Highway Authority, SIDBI, Railways, they keep issuing bonds to the public. Infrastructure bond, they are technically called. So you next month, September, National Highway Authority is issuing and bonds with the interest rate of 7.80%. This month itself, Government of India is issuing infrastructure bonds by NHAI, which will give you a interest of 7.80%. So all these things are under the ambit of Government of India schemes. And Mr. Giridhar, the beauty of these schemes are there is no risk at all. Whatever government promises, government will give you interest, Dr. Paul. And when the scheme matures, you will get the maturity amount without fail, because that is a sovereign guarantee. And I personally feel, Dr. Paul, that a normal middle class, salary class person should invest around 18 to 20% of their total investment into governmental scheme. Why I am saying you, Mr. Haq? Because there is no risk. Return may not be extraordinary, but you are covering your risk. So you are around 20% of your investment should be in governmental bonds. Next, that all other categories of investment have got risk. Please do mind it now. Mr. Sridhar, now the things are very clear. All other investment products have got risk. Second product is real estate or property where we can invest. I leave it to you to decide the quantum, how much you want to risk. But one thing, three things I want to tell about the property in real estate. First, Mr. Haq, the return is not certain how much risk you will get on your investment in real estate and property. Secondly, acquisition cost in the real estate is very high. 2-3% stamp duty you will be paying, lot of other expenses you will have to pay. Third thing is, how much money you will get when you want to sell the property in distress, not certain. And lastly, for investment in property in real estate, Mr. Giridhar, you will need huge amount, maybe crores, maybe 50 lakhs, 70 lakhs. You can't invest in property by 5 lakh or 10 lakhs. You will need huge amount. So property is one of the options. I leave it to you. But before that, I just want one query from Dr. Paul. कभी आपने घोड़ों की रेस देखी है टीवी पर? हॉर्सेज रेस एक गेम होता है, बड़े लोगों का गेम है ये, हक साहब जानते हैं. इट इज ए गेम ऑफ रिचेज. कुछ घोड़े दौड़ते हैं, एक घोड़ा आगे चले जाता है, जो जीतता है उसको पैसा मिलता है. उसका एक गोल्डन रूल है डॉक्टर पॉल, और उसका गोल्डन रूल ये है, हक साहब जरूर जानते होंगे, कभी भी अपना सारा पैसा एक घोड़े पर मत लगाइए. क्यों? कि अगर एक घोड़ा पिसड्डी हो गया तो वो आप सारा पैसा आपका डूब गया. इसलिए दूसरा तरीका क्या है, कुछ कुछ पैसा 3-4 घोड़ों पर लगाइए. तो एक घोड़ा नहीं, दूसरा घोड़ा चल गया, तीसरा चल गया, चौथा चल गया, कोई भी चल गया तो कुछ तो रिटर्न आपको मिलेगा. एंड द सेम रूल अप्लाइज इन इन्वेस्टमेंट आल्सो. Never put all your money in one investment product. Mr. Giridhar, never put your all money in one investment product. Try to spread your investment in different products. Develop a basket of investment. इन्वेस्टमेंट की एक बास्केट बनाइए, वो बहुत जरूरी है. उसमें आपका रिस्क भी एवरेज आउट हो जाएगा और आपका रिटर्न भी एवरेज आउट हो जाएगा. So that is why developing a basket of investment is a must for your successful investor. Third category where we can invest, and I know now what I am talking, Dr. Paul will have a smile on her face. Without fail, I can tell you. And the product name is, she knows it very well, gold. When I start talking about the gold, all female participants have got a smile on their faces. अरे बाबा gold की क्या बात करना है, जितना gold हो ठीक है. What to talk about the gold? Yes, gold has historically been, Dr. Paul, a safety valve for the middle class, salary class person. But historically, we have been investing in gold, Dr. Paul, through jewelry and biscuits. Dr. Haq, am I right? Only through jewelry and biscuits, but now the things are changing. You can invest in gold through digital form as well. And now, Dr. Paul, a very unique government of India scheme is on with regard to gold. Government of India scheme, no private scheme. Please note down the name of that scheme. And I will request all your students also, please, today when you go back home, please discuss with your moms and sisters about this scheme. This is a government of India scheme. Name of the scheme, Dr. Paul, is Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. SOVEREIGN. Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Very good scheme of the government of India, where government is giving you two benefits. First benefit is, Dr. Paul, whatever you invest in this scheme, you will get 2.5% guaranteed interest. Suppose you have invested 1 lakh rupees in this scheme. So every year you will get 2,500 rupees as interest. This is the first guarantee. Minimum amount you can deposit each 1 gram gold price decided by the government. And maximum amount you can deposit is 4 kg gold price. Minimum 1 gram gold price, maximum investment you can make is 4 kg gold price. First benefit is you will get 2.5% return interest. And apart from then, Dr. Paul, whatever appreciation in the gold price, suppose today, Mr. Giridhar, you invest at the 50,000 10 gram price decided by the government. After 10 years, suppose the gold price become 80,000 10 gram. Then you will be paid 80,000 10 gram. So the difference or the appreciation in the gold price will also be given to you. So there are two benefits. First benefit is you will definitely get 2.5% interest plus appreciation in the gold price will also be given to you. Both the benefits. And the scheme is for 8 years, Mr. Giridhar. And if you remain in the scheme for 8 years, tax liability will be literally zero. No tax liability because of capital gain. Exemption will be allowed. But if you want to come out of the scheme before 8 years, after 3 years you can come out, then there will be some tax liability. So please do understand, this is a very unique scheme of the government of India. And the purpose of the scheme is just to discourage citizens in acquiring gold into physical form. Because in this scheme, Mr. Giridhar, no physical gold will be given to you. Only a sovereign certificate will be issued to you that this much of amount you have invested in this scheme, and you can withdraw that even after 10 years, after 3-4 years. So sovereign gold bond is a very good scheme of the government of India, and you should think of investing in this scheme because nowadays, Haq sir, keeping gold at home will give you nightmare. Arey baba, chor aa jayega, kya pareshani hogi sala. This is the first thing. And second thing is, if you take it locker and put in the locker, you will have to pay annual maintenance, gold locker charges. That will also be a cost. So instead of that, you can invest in sovereign gold bond and have reasonable or rather good returns with guaranteed return from government of India. Third and last investment product is share bazaar, security market. And Haq sir, when I start talking about the share market, there may be one or two message in the chat box. अरे सर वो सट्टा बाजारी उसके बारे में बात मत कीजिए. It is normally people think like this only. अरे sir, it is speculation. Don't talk about that. Yes, I am very clear, sir. Those who don't have knowledge of the market must not invest in that market directly. It's in my opinion as well. Because share market, Dr. Paul, is purely knowledge-based market. It is purely knowledge-based market. It is purely knowledge-based market. And those who don't have knowledge of the market must not invest. Must not invest. Must not invest your hard-earned money into security market if you don't have knowledge. If you don't have time, please don't invest in. But there is an indirect way of next time, if Dr. Paul is interested, we will have a technical session for your students. Then we will give details about the security market. But these are all technicalities which I don't have time to discuss at this because already time is running out. But there is an indirect way of investing into security market. And Giridhar sir, that way is investing through mutual funds. Mutual funds are indirect way of investing security market. And Haq sir, for your information, mutual funds have schemes where my Muslim brothers like Mr. Haq can invest as per Shariat laws. So their Shariat compliant schemes are also there for Mr. Kaji and Mr. Haq to understand in mutual fund scheme where your money will be invested in compliance with the Shariat laws. For those Muslim brothers or sisters who want to invest strictly as per Shariat law, the option in mutual fund is also available for them. So what is mutual fund, Dr. Paul? Mutual fund is nothing but we are giving our money to the experts. We are not directly investing. We are giving our money to the experts. Why we are giving? We don't have knowledge. This is the first reason. And second thing is, I don't have time to track my investments. That is why we are giving our money to the experts. And those experts are technically called, Mr. Giridhar, fund managers. They are technically called fund managers. And there are thousands of schemes in the mutual fund. According to your risk and according to your time horizon, you can invest in those schemes. So the beauty of the mutual fund scheme, Mr. Haq, is there are schemes as per your risk appetite. Suppose somebody is in a position to take high risk, one scheme is there for him or her. Somebody wants to take moderate risk, other scheme is there for him to invest. And somebody wants to have very least risk appetite. Third scheme is available for her. So for all categories of investors, as per their risk appetite, different mutual fund schemes are available. Likewise, sir, if you want to invest even for a overnight, one night only, mutual fund schemes are available, which is called overnight funds. Only for one night you can invest. If you want to invest for 1 week or 1 month, then other schemes are available, which is called liquid fund, where you can invest for a very short period. But if you want to invest for 3 months or 6 months, ultra short-term debt funds are available. If you want to invest for 6 months to 1 year, then short-term funds are available. If you want to invest for 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 years, then normal debt funds and equity funds are available. So schemes as per your time horizon of investments are also available. Now you have to take a call which scheme you want to invest as per your risk appetite and time horizon of investment. Broadly, there are 3 categories of investment schemes in a mutual fund. One is equity fund, Dr. Paul. And as the name goes, Mr. Giridhar, In equity fund, your money will be invested into the equity share of the corporates. There the risk is high, very high. Why? Because the share price always go up and down. Always go up and down. So in equity fund, those who can take high risk and those who are in a position to invest for longer period, minimum 5 years, Dr. Paul, then equity fund is a better proposition. Those who are young like you, equity fund is a better proposition for you. But suppose people like me who have already crossed 50, they can't take high risk, then the other category is there, Mr. Giridhar, that is called debt fund, DEBT debt fund. In debt fund, your money will not be invested into equity shares, Dr. Paul. Your money will be given as a loan to the corporates. Understand the difference? No investment in equity shares. It will be given as a loan to the corporates. So the risk is relatively lower, but the return is also reasonable. So those who don't want to take high risk and are satisfied with the reasonable return, they can go for debt fund. And third category, Mr. Giridhar, is hybrid fund. In hybrid fund, if I speak in Hindi, दोनों हाथों में लड्डू आपको लेके चलेंगे आप. What you are doing in hybrid fund, some of your money will go to the equity fund and some of your money will go to the debt fund. So you are aspiring for little bit high return, but at the same time, you are covering your risk because some of your money is going to the debt fund and loan as a corporates. So these are the schemes you have to decide. I don't have time. Otherwise, next time, Dr. Paul, we will have a dedicated session on mutual fund of 2 hours. It is a very, very long subject. But one unique thing I want to tell you about mutual fund for the middle class, salary class person, and that is a magic for middle class, salary class person, Dr. Paul, that is called SIP, Systematic Investment Plan. Those who are young like you, SIP is a magic. And SIP is simply a way of investment. You can invest through SIP in equity fund, in debt fund or hybrid fund. Any fund you can invest through SIP. And what is SIP? SIP is nothing, Dr. Paul, but a regular investment. It is a regular investment. You are regularly investing. May it be weekly, may it be fortnightly, may it be monthly. But normally, since we are middle class person and we get monthly salary, so the best option available for us is monthly SIP. And Dr. Haq, SIP is a magic for the middle class, salary class person. If you start investing when you are young and continue it for 10, 15, 20 years, Dr. Paul, a magic will happen in your life. And I just want to give you an example. And again, this is an example. It is not a story. It is a fact. But I will not name the scheme. I will not name the AMC. But I am sharing the facts before you. These are the facts, Mr. Haq. One equity fund was started by a mutual fund company in 1995. Mr. Giridhar, note down the dates very carefully. In 1995, a mutual fund company started an equity fund. And a person who was very young at that time started an SIP of 10,000 rupees every month. Every month he is investing or she is investing 10,000 rupees per month, right from 1995. Until 2022, Mr. Giridhar, he or she is continuously every month investing 10,000 rupees through SIP. And during this period, Mr. Haq, from 1995 to 2022, market might have gone up 100 times, market might have gone down 100 times or more than 100 times. Because going up and down is the basic character of the market. Please do understand, market will always go up and down. But that fellow continuously, religiously invested 10,000 rupees through SIP every month. He didn't bother about the movement of the market, because normally, Mr. Haq, what happens When market goes up, people start investing. They, Ore Baba, Dr. Paul will think, Ore Baba, we will get profit when market goes up. When market goes down, people get scary, they withdraw their investment. And Dr. Paul, that is a blunder they do. Those who are young must not be affected by the movement of the market. They should be long term. They should be long term investor. And long term, I mean minimum 15 to 20 years, my dear friends. Minimum 15 to 20 years. You should continue investing regularly. And Dr. Paul, I just want to give you the magic what has happened. The person who started 1995, 10,000 per month SIP, Mr. Giridhar. Now see what I want to tell you now. The person has got now a corpus of 9.57 crore. He has developed a corpus of 9.57 crore. But two things are very important. He continuously invested right from 1995 to 2000, every month without fail. This is the crux. You must be regular in investing. Then you should not be affected by the movement of the market. Normally, people get affected and withdraw their money, which you should not do. So SIP is a magic for the middle class, salary class person. But Mr. Giridhar, magic will happen not today, not tomorrow. It will take 15, 20 years. So those who are young like Dr. Paul, they should think of starting an SIP. And nowadays, Dr. Paul, in SIP, top-up facility is also available. You start with 1,000, you can top it up from 1,000 to 1,500 to 2,000 to 2,005, likewise. So SIP is a magic for middle class. And even your students, I will encourage them to start an SIP of 500 rupees out of their pocket money. Minimum amount of SIP, Mr. Giridhar, is 500 rupees. You can start an SIP of 500 rupees out of pocket money. And when you start earning after 3-4 years, by that time, you will be a mature investor in mutual fund. You will be know a lot of things about the investment. So you can continue with that or increase that SIP. So I don't have time, so I have to finish it. Last two things I want to tell all of you. And this is a menace is going on in Assam also, Dr. Paul and Mr. Giridhar and Mr. Hussain. Please open your video for next 5 minutes only. Mr. Kaji, if you can open your video for next 5 minutes. I want to request all of you one important thing to all of you. There is a menace in our country, Mr. Giridhar, which is called Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committee. And Assam is one of the most sufferer state after West Bengal. Lakhs of people have deposited their hard-earned money in such bogus scheme. They are frauds. I am using very harsh word. They are all frauds. They will come to you promising you doubling your money in 4 years. They will promising you coming 15% return. This and that, all are fraud. They will never make promise. They make their promise good. After collecting some money, after some year, Dr. Paul, they will simply vanish one day. And I tell all of you, I know you are all intellectual, you are all educated person, you will not invest, Mr. Giridhar. But kindly, Dr. Paul, please start a campaign in your area, educating people. And who are normally investing in those schemes, Mr. Kaji? Not you, not Dr. Paul, not Mr. Giridhar. They are basically those persons who are not so educated. Your maid servant, your peon, your taxi wala, your milk vendor, your plumber, your electrician. They basically come under temptation and invest their hard-earned money. So please start a campaign in your area through your students. Try to educate them. Try to make people aware. that they should never invest their hard-earned money in such bogus scheme. And if they don't have any idea, they should simply keep their money in bank and post offices. At least their money will be safe. So, Dr. Paul and Mr. Kaji, I will request you and your principal, please start a campaign in your area to educate people that they should never invest their hard-earned money in Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committee. Last thing I want to tell all of you, Dr. Paul, prosperity is your right. Every individual has got right to be prosper. Mr. Giridhar, it is not a begging. No, nobody will give us begging. Prosperity is your right. Dr. Paul, I might have born into a poor family. There may be some instances where people might have born into a poor family. Mr. Kaji, birth in a poor family is not a curse at all. Never.
But to remain poor is a curse, sir.
Absolutely, sir. But to live as poor and die as poor is a curse. And this we can all avoid by simply managing our money in such a manner right from the day when you start earning. And I pray Almighty that we all be prosper. This is my wish and this is my request. Thank you very much for giving me time. And I will now request Mr. Giridhar, if you can unmute yourself and give your opinion about the session, and then Mr. Kaji, and then we will take question answer session. Or if Dr. Paul to speak about the session or give her observation, I will be grateful.
Thank you, sir, for your motivational, informative, and enlightening speech that comes out of your profound knowledge, expertise, and wisdom due to your long real-life professional experience, I think. We have learned a lot regarding life insurance, especially adequate life insurance, adequate health insurance, then the difference between money accumulator and money creator, then how we should start investing. First of all, we have to think, then understand, then start investing. And obviously the risk of investing is very low for the younger people as compared to the aged people. We have also come to know about some governmental schemes like small savings schemes, public provident fund account, like the minimum investment in provident fund account is 500 to 1.50 lakh annually, and it is totally tax exempted account. And also we came to know that we should invest in provident fund before 5th of every month so that we could be able to get the interest of that month. We came to know different schemes like NSC, KVP of post office, then RBI tax-free and taxable bonds. Then we have come to know the governmental securities, RBI retail center portal, Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, which is for girl child below 10 age. And also we came to know about Bharat Bond 1, Bharat Bond 2. Then we have known about equity fund, debt fund, and equity fund is high risky and debt fund is low risk, and also about hybrid fund, which is a mixture of equity fund and debt fund. Also we came to know about SIP, which is very much useful for younger people to start so that they can create that means money in their life. And in this way we can empower ourselves financially as by creating wealth. So thank you, sir. Thank you once again. And if there is anybody to question anything directly to our sir, they can put on their audio and video, and they can obviously question our
Please, I will welcome all of you to ask the questions.
Or if somebody can give any feedback, they can also give feedback.
Yeah, and just raise their hand
directly.
And we will unmute them. Just raise their hand if they have any question or any doubt.
Okay. Is there anybody?
Mr. Giridhar, you want to speak or you want to give your observation? Mr. Sabdar, please unmute him.
Somebody have raised his. There been so many people already have raised their hand.
Yeah,
I request Sabjar sir kindly unmute
Mr.
them.
Sabdar.
Okay, sir. Okay.
केशव मणि जी को मेरा प्रणाम। Mr. Giridhar, you want to speak? Please unmute yourself.
Dear sir, please unmute your audio option. V. Giridhar, sir. Dear sir, please unmute your audio option, sir. Please, you are muted. V. Giridhar.
Okay, any question from any participant?
I think
Yes, Sana
nobody is
Sheikh.
there.
Sana Sheikh, ma'am, have you got any question?
I think no question.
Mr. Sabjar, please unmute Mr. Dr. Keshav Mani. Dr. Keshav Mani Mishra or Sharma ji. Mr. Sabjar, please unmute him.
Dear sir, please unmute your audio option, sir. Keshav Mani, sir, please. Sir, please ask question, sir. Keshav Mani, sir, please ask question.
आप तो आशीर्वाद दीजिए सर। सर आशीर्वाद दीजिए आप तो।
सर सबसे पहले तो महाकाल भगवान की जय हो और सभी हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स को महाकाल भगवान का और सूर्यकांत जी का आशीर्वाद आज मिला हमें। बहुत अच्छी बात है, बहुत ही शानदार बातें हैं जो एक लगती साधारण है, बाकी तो ध्यान नहीं देते हैं, सब बातें आपने बताई है। मैं आपका उज्जैन नगर से धन्यवाद करता हूँ। एक ऐसा है, कोई पीपीएफ अकाउंट यदि बंद हो चुका है तो क्या उसे वापस 5 साल के लिए स्टार्ट करवाया जा सकता है?
सर जहां तक आप बात कर रहे हैं वो जो बंद हो गया उसको शायद चालू नहीं किया जा सकता, इसके बारे में मैं और क्लैरिटी लूंगा, लेकिन उसको शायद चालू नहीं किया जा सकता।
जी जी धन्यवाद और शुभकामनाएं आपको। आप भारत देश के नौजवानों को ऐसे ही प्रेरित करते रहे, भगवान महाकाल का आशीर्वाद बना रहे।
आपकी शुभकामनाएं मेरे साथ हमेशा बनी रहे, बस ये मेरी धरोहर है।
जय श्री महाकाल आदरणीय।
Dr. Paul, any more question from any participant?
I think no questions are there.
Okay. Then we should wind it up.
Sir, no, okay. Now I would like to invite Mr. Topan Kakoti, Assistant Professor, Department of Economics, Mankachar College, to deliver the vote of thanks. Kakoti sir, are you there? Kakoti sir?
Hey, Kakoti ke mati asre. Hello.
Sir,
Hello?
please start your sir, start your vote of thanks.
Yes. Namaskar. Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable keynote speaker, Sri Suryakanta Sharma sir, respected Principal Madam of Mankachar College, Coordinator sir, Convener Madam, and all the participants. It is a matter of pride for me that on behalf of the Department of Economics, I got a chance to thank everyone present here. I take this golden opportunity to thank the respected keynote speaker of this webinar, Sri Suryakanta Sharma sir, Senior Consultant, Association of Mutual Fund in India, former DGM, SEBI, for attending this wonderful webinar in his busy schedule and sharing insights and wisdom with all of us. Thank you for inspiring and encouraging us with your words on this special day. A special thanks to Mr. Sabjar Ahmed, Coordinator, Association of Mutual Fund in India, for giving us opportunity to organize webinar on such an wonderful topic. I pleasure to thank respected Dr. Srita Dr. Principal of Mankasa College for providing immense support to make the webinar successful. I extend my gratitude to Mr. Muktazur Rahman Kazi, Coordinator and HOD, Department of Economics, Mankasa College, for providing all-round support to make it successful. It is my pleasure to thank the dignitaries, respected participants, professors, teachers, members on and off stage, not only for participating, but also for guiding us for this wonderful webinar. I congratulate to Dr. Jogamayapal, convener of this webinar, for her hard work to make the webinar a grand success. Thank you everyone once again for making it a grand success. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Dr. Tapan, I am thankful to all of you, particularly and Dr. Paul, Dr. Kaji, and yourself, and all your faculty members to be with me for this session. I am thankful to all of you. I am thankful also to all the participants who have taken out time to be with me. And lastly, but not the least, the special thank to Mr. Sabjar Ahmed for coordinating the event with you. And I will be more than happy to be with you physically as well at the first opportunity, because interacting in physical form and interacting in on face gives a totally different ball game. So I will be more than happy to be with you at the first opportunity. So thank you very much to all of you. God bless you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We are also very much thankful to you for your, I have already given you the token of appreciation. Sir, if we want to organize some awareness program for a student, then also we will connect you.
Definitely we will.
Think you, okay, sir.
Definitely. No problem at all. Mr. Sabjar will be in touch with you. We will do it.
Yeah.
We will definitely do it.
And there is an announcement for the participants that if you have already or if you are filling the feedback forms, the link is already available in the chat box. You will obviously get your certificates, but within 10 working days. Your certificates will be provided within 10 working days. So thank you, everyone. Now we can wind up our session and we can exit one by one.